You ever having a bad night's sleep? I know you have, and that's a rhetorical question. I realize that, but do you remember how you felt when you woke up in the morning? Do you remember that feeling of not being able to really concentrate? You feel almost like a weight. It's like somebody put a wet blanket over your entire body, and you just feel heavy, and you can't really focus, and you feel this buzz in your head, and you're just trying to you want it gone so bad. And you know what we as men know? That tonight we can have a good night's sleep and it will go away. Brain fog for women as a result of perimenopause doesn't go away. We got to talk about it. Your wife is losing estrogen, testosterone, and progesterone. If you've seen some of my videos, you know that's the case. It's out of her control. She's losing these hormones. It's just how it works. It's just how it works. But when she loses estrogen, she's losing a hormone that is affecting the area of the brain for focus and for concentration, and it's also affecting sleep, along with progesterone. It's also, by the way, affecting the amount of serotonin in her brain, which is her feel-good chemical. So when she loses estrogen and serotonin goes down, that's where depression sinks in. And if you've ever been depressed, I have, brain fog feels like that. It feels like you just can't really you can't concentrate. You don't feel like yourself. You might not feel sad. You might not have the same sort of darker feelings that you might have in depression, or at least that I have, but you feel the weight. You feel the discomfort. You feel that sense of you just wish you didn't feel this way. And women are feeling like this in perimenopause, which, by the way, did we talk about? Okay. Perimenopause is the period of time that leads up to menopause. Perimenopause can start in her early 30s. Menopause is not an old woman's thing, by the way, and it's not a disease. It's not something she catches. It's a natural phase of life, and 100% of women go through it. But in her early 30s, these symptoms, including brain fog, loss of estrogen, can start. And by the time she hits menopause, she's lost 99, maybe over 99% of the amount of estrogen she had in her body when she was 25. So this is not a small deal. And by the way, that doesn't come back. Without hormone replacement therapy, which we could get into, that doesn't come back. So she wakes up every single day with the effect, if at a minimum, with the effect of the loss of estrogen on her concentration and her focus. But more likely, the brain fog is also compounded by insomnia. Again, you know what it's like to not sleep, right? And that insomnia comes from not only these hormones affecting her sleep, but because she's having hot flashes and night sweats. Estrogen fluctuates wildly at night. It affects the area of the brain that regulates temperature. She can't control her temperature. She's probably had a thermostat war with you in the house. Covers on, covers off. She's struggling. Imagine what that's like. Imagine what it's like then to have that estrogen fluctuate. And when that happens, cortisol actually spikes. She can have anxiety, heart palpitations, all at night. I haven't talked about nocturia. You want to get into some shit for a second? Nocturia is when estrogen, which affects the strength of her bladder walls, starts to decline, and she literally can't hold her bladder as easily anymore. She has a sense that she has to go. She's now up anyway because of the hot flashes and because of the anxiety spikes. Now she's getting up and going to the bathroom 5 times, which is adding to it. And she's got brain fog, even if this wasn't happening. So that's what we're dealing with. That's what she's dealing with. That's what she's dealing with. Think about what it must be like for her to go to work under those circumstances. What it must be like for her to concentrate on the kids, help them with their homework, remember appointments that she's supposed to go to. And keep in mind that she used to be on top of all of this. You remember that? She does. She remembers when she had this dialed in. She was making all the appointments. She was on top of the school drop-offs and pickups, and this time the family's going to be here, and this time the family's going to be there, and the family calendar and all the other things that she's managing that we're probably not helping with that much. And now that's starting to fall apart. Women literally will go into a grocery store aisle and cry. Audibly cry. Because they can't remember why they're there. And they used to be dialed. They would be like, aisle 7, aisle 8, aisle 9. This is what I get. Done. Bada bing. And now, she sits there and just stares at the freaking wall and cries. Women are putting their keys in their freezer. Women are putting glasses on to find their glasses. Phones, forget about it. This is the daily life of a woman who is struggling with the symptoms of perimenopause, leading up to menopause. And to be honest, these types of things will get better, right? There's definitely symptoms that carry into postmenopause. Even hot flashes can do that. I can tell you in postmenopause, there's other issues, just throwing it out there, that by the time a woman gets to postmenopause, she's lost 20% of her bone density. High risk for osteoporosis, fractures, hip breaks. 33% of adults over the age of 65 die within the first year after a hip fracture. So that's out there too. But brain fog as a thing, as one thing, is disrupting her daily life. It's making her feel like she has dementia. It's making her go to the doctors who, by the way, are not trained to support her and say, you got to help me. You got to help me figure this out. You got to get me through this, doc. I can't do this anymore. And the doctor who's not trained to support her, who doesn't realize that this is about hormones, will put her on pills, will send her down a rabbit hole of specialists, will just sort of be like, you know what, here, go see this person. That's expensive, that's time consuming, that compounds on top of everything else. So she's struggling. And there's things you can do about it. Number one, you can be aware. Number one, you can be aware. Number two, maybe 1A, listen to her. Believe the symptoms that she is telling you. Believe what she's going through. And educate yourself about this so you can understand what she's going through and support her. Don't be one of those guys that says menopause is an excuse. Don't be one of those guys that says she's making this up. Do you guys know that over 60% of divorces are happening between the ages of 40 and 55, or 40 and 60, somewhere in there? Do you realize that that coincides perfectly with the menopause years? Do you know that some surveys say that 73% of women attribute menopause to the cause of their divorce? Do you want your marriage to be one of those? Because it's not just brain fog, but that's one thing. How ready are you? How prepared are you? How much do you know? You don't have to be an expert. You don't have to go deep into this. You don't have to start your own social media brand. But educate yourself a little bit about this. And if that means watching these videos, great. You want to go over to my TT channel, The Parent Express, and you want to take 5 minutes, every video over there is about a minute long. Take 5 minutes, watch 5 videos. Pick any ones you want. Learn about what's going on. Because this is hard, and she needs you.